Hi, everyone. This is Tammy. I'm bringing you on air with our panel today with VA to VA. We're a panel of three virtual assistants who run multi virtual assistant companies who just want to share our experiences and some of the things we've been learning along the way with other VAs or even other business owners, because a lot of what we learn does help just entrepreneurs. And today we are actually going to be talking about positioning yourself for new business. And it's a very important topic. Just introduce myself and I'll let the ladies introduce themselves and we'll get started. I'm Tammy Durden with Tammy's Office Solutions. And we do anything from social media to virtual assistant to branding and web design, but we can help you with most everything you need. And go ahead, Nanette, introduce yourself, please.
I'm Nanette Telemac at my company's In Essence Virtual Assistants, and I'm out of Newbury, New Hampshire. And I'm also, like Tammy, a generalist, so I offer anything from sales and marketing, admin support, and creative design and branding. So that's what I do.
And I'm Lisa Cole with Augusta Virtual Assistants. I am the team owner and manager, and we target realtors, attorneys, and other small business owners that are in need of back-end support, such as website design, social media, Excel spreadsheets, letter writing, things like that. So welcome.
Great. Nat, please introduce our topic for us and what we're going to
Sure.
be talking about today.
Okay, well, today we're going to talk about positioning yourself for new business, and I guess we should preface it with why we're doing talking about positioning, and in its purest form, positioning is about making the right decisions for your business in terms of your marketing decisions, your customers, who your customers are, and the decisions you make to go forward. So before you decide how you're going to advertise, before you decide who you want to take on as a customer, you really should be working on and know your position in the marketplace. And that's so important if you want to if you're planning on being in this in the long term, if you're planning on running your own business. And to put it in perspective, if as a virtual assistant or any business owner, if you went into a business because you thought you had a great idea or you thought this would be a great thing for you to do for income, but you didn't think through who your customers were, how you would talk to them, how you would sell your products, then you're going to find yourself struggling. And I think all of us could say at one point, I know I could, that I got into this because I thought it was a great opportunity to showcase my skill sets and everything, but I didn't think too much about who I would be selling to and what I would be selling and what pricing I would be doing. And so really positioning and getting that down first before you start looking for customers is really important. And I've been on enough of the virtual assistant websites and small business websites where the question's always coming up, where do I find my customers? How do you find your customers? What do you do to find customers? How do you network? And unless you have that, your positioning, your brand positioning, your marketing positioning, and know how you're going to present yourself, then you're going to be, I guess, shooting out in the dark. It's like putting with blindfolds and trying to hit targets that you can't see. So positioning is really important, and we're going to cover certain aspects of positioning, and one of them is actually your attitude. That's the beginning. I mean, how negative or positive you are is going to affect how your business is perceived by your potential customers. And so having a good attitude is going to really project through your company and your business. And then the second thing is educating your customers. Once you have your positioning down and you know who you are and you have a great attitude, how do you one thing we felt was important is educating as a position as a part of positioning. How do you get your customers to see you with a value, with relevancy, and someone who can solve their issues? Well, one way of doing that is educating your customers, and that means knowing yourself, which again goes back to the positioning. And then thirdly is the marketing positioning, brand marketing, knowing your brand, knowing your services, what kind of services you can do, and the competitive position with and pricing, all that is knowing those things is going to get you started in this new year in the right way. So that's really what we're going to talk about today, and Tammy's going to kick it off with attitude.
Yes, Nanette, thank you for that introduction. It was great. Nanette's always great about also bringing us wonderful topics. We all team together and have our own little meetings every month, but lately she's had some great ideas, and we're very excited to bring this to you, so we appreciate that, Nanette. So attitude, I think I took this one because I'm told a lot that I have a positive attitude, and people wonder how I do it and all of those things. I think sometimes it's also a matter of your upbringing too and how you were raised. But I also think that different personalities have different types of attitudes as well. But I do think that whether or not you have the propensity to have a negative or positive attitude, you can train yourself in order to have that attitude. And we know how important, I think all of us who are in business have certainly done enough research, been on enough webinars and things like that to know that attitude absolutely affects what we do in business. And if we don't have a good attitude, if we don't have a positive positioning, our clients aren't going to believe in us, for one thing. And they're not going to want to do, you're not going to attract people, you're going to be repelling people when you have a negative attitude. So not only does it depend on your skills, talents, and all of those things, but you have to have the attitude to be able to go out and attract those new clients to your business. So some of the things we looked at, an article in Entrepreneur from a serial entrepreneur, Jen Grover. She offered some advice and about needing help in the optimism department, as some of us do. And a couple of things she says are to train your brain to see the good in what happens so you can learn from the setbacks. And I would have to totally agree with that because my tendency is to say, okay, if something negative happens, what can I learn from this? What am I supposed to take away? And sift through that, because it doesn't mean you take it all. If you sift through the good and the bad and take what you can learn from it, and then let the rest just drift away so that you're not holding on to that. So many of us hold on to that negative stuff too. And it doesn't mean that because you had a negative experience, you're going to learn from every part of that, but just take the things you can learn and let the rest settle. Then she says, make these lessons a learning tool, as I'm talking about, to help you forge forward. So not only, I've had so many different experiences and being a business owner, as I'm sure many of you have, but especially looking at some of the ones that were not the best experiences, I've learned more. I've transitioned my business because of those things. So I've put things in place and even in contracts and other things to protect myself more. I've learned how to deal with certain types of clients because of not maybe doing it right the first time. So I take those things and do learn that so that I can move forward and attract the type of client I want, as well as knowing how to deal with them in a very positive way. And the other thing she says, and this is so true too, is surround yourself with positive people and draw inspiration from how they've overcome challenges in their lives. So many of you know I have MS and some other disabilities, and I am disabled. I'm a disability. I help to empower other disabled professionals to work as well. And, people say, oh, you're so inspirational. But I look at other people's lives who have it so much worse than I do, and I think they're such an inspiration. I don't consider myself an inspiration. So I look at other people's lives and everything that they've gone through and think, well, if they made it through that and they're going through this, then certainly I can. Not to mention my faith is a huge part of where my attitude comes from. Because when I'm in the Word daily, when I am talking, to my Heavenly Father, I am definitely in a much better attitude and frame of mind. Now, the other thing that we looked at was there were 12 attributes that can help you in the mindset to achieve the attitude that you want to be successful. And so some of those, I'll start with number one, and I'll try to go through quickly because I know we have a lot to discuss today. But number one is have a passion for your business. this is key. Oh my goodness. If you don't have a passion, why would anybody else have a passion for your business? If you don't believe in your business, if you don't believe in the things that you're doing, nobody else is going to believe it. They're not going to have confidence in you or in your work. So you have to have a passion for your work. And then your passion will help others and help you to overcome difficult moments and help you to persuade people to work with you and want to do business with you. Because if you have that passion and that fire, they're going to hear it in your voice. They're going to see it maybe on your videos or whatever marketing things you have out there. They're going to know that you're the right person they want, you know. So make sure that you take inventory and stock of really what you're doing. Eliminate, you know, especially virtual assistants. We're always adding skills to our toolbox. And maybe there's some things that we don't like to do as much anymore. So maybe you start weeding those out or outsourcing or whatever you want to do with that and spend time on the things you really enjoy doing. So, you know, try getting more clients in those areas. I know that's something I'm going through myself right now, is because I really enjoy very much certain aspects of what I do, and I like to work on those things. And then the other things, you know, I like to let my team members work on. So, you know, and maybe they have a passion for those things. So that's very important. Also, set an example of trustworthiness. So people have confidence in trustworthy individuals, and they want to work with them. There has to be a culture of integrity. And it was funny because I was talking to somebody about this week. I don't know if it was in a post or something, but about how important it is to be honest in today's corrupt business world, it seems like. And I actually had a client, an old client, tell me that I would never succeed because I didn't lie in business. And if I didn't lie, I would never become successful in my business and I would fail. And I just politely disagreed with him. And I've continued on to be more successful than I was at that time. So I think you can have integrity in business. I think that if you don't, what do you have left? If you don't have your word and integrity, what do you have left? I mean, that's so important if people can't believe in you. And this will probably go into marketing and stuff too. But part of what we do with social media and branding is to build that trustworthiness as you present yourself to others, as you keep your word to others. They're going to see that, and they're going to build that relationship with you and see that you are honest and trustworthy. Be flexible. This is number 3. Be flexible, except with those core values, like we were discussing with the honesty and all of those. It's a given that your plans and strategies will change, and this is for sure because I know I started out in lead generation, and now I'm totally in the opposite direction. So, you know, things do change. And one of the reasons my business changed was because a huge part of my business plan was to be able to empower other disabled professionals. And what I found was that lead generation was very difficult for them to do. So although I might excel at that, they didn't. And it was very important that that be a part of my model. So I actually totally changed my business model and everything so that we were no longer doing lead generation and just doing those things that they could work on. So, and then we have number 4, don't fear or don't let fear of failure hold you back. And that is so true. I think so many people don't even step out in business because of that fear of failure. And it's a big thing. I mean, we all have that, you know, different fears in our lives. But if you don't face those fears head on, they're always going to limit you. And so if you're just sitting there thinking, well, I want to be a VA or I want to be a multi-VA company, but what's holding you back? Is it fear or is it other things? You know, so don't let that. In actuality, you probably will fail in many ways throughout your business life. However, those are the opportunities that help you learn the most. And as I said earlier, they are really going to be the biggest opportunities for you. So all things being equal, venture capitalists would rather invest money in an individual who tried and failed founding a company than someone who never tried at all. And that's very true. If you're brand new starting out, those venture capitalists and investors are not going to invest in you if you haven't had some experience and even failed in some areas so that you have learned from them. Number 5 is make timely decisions. And, many of us can say we might have missed out on an opportunity because we didn't jump on the bandwagon, so to speak, or we delayed. So it is important that we make timely decisions. It doesn't mean you immediately decide, but do use your intuition. Sometimes you need to step back and think, but use your intuition. And if your gut is telling you something isn't right, it probably isn't. So make sure you trust your gut too. Number 6 is the major company asset is you. That is so true. You are the biggest asset you have. So when you're presenting yourself, you have to present yourself in a positive attitude, with confidence and the ability to really sell yourself too and your company, so that others really trust you again. And that trust word keeps coming up, so others will trust you. Also, remember to take care of yourself, because you are the biggest asset. And then your health, take care of your health, take care of, those things that you're putting into yourself, and take care of your machines, software, everything that you choose. And remember that this is just business. And at the end of the day, this is just business. The important things are the relationships in your life. And I know I'm struggling with that right now because my kids have grown, and I'm thinking, okay, it's time for me to focus. And I am up late working many nights. And my daughter teases me because I fall asleep on the computer some days. And or at night sometimes. And so, but there has to be a balance. It really does. And so we need to put that balance in our lives. And then number 7 is keep your ego under control. And we have all been around those people who think they're bigger than the room, or think they know it all. And believe me, we do not pretend to know it all on this panel. We really don't. We're just being honest with you and sharing where we've been and some of the things we've been through to maybe help you in your journey along the way. But definitely, just because you've made a big deal, or you've just landed a great client and all of those things, just remember that at the end of the day, you still are looking in the mirror. It's you. And you need to be sure of who you are. Don't try to puff out your chest and be bigger than, those things. Now, having said that, you still have to maintain that positivity as well as confidence, and there's a fine line between those things. So, because you do want people to believe in you. And number 8 is believe. You need to believe in you and your company, in the things that you are doing, and that you will be successful. If you don't believe that, nobody else will. And then when you do believe that, that confidence is contagious, so that your team will believe it, your clients will believe it, any investors will believe it, and they'll want to deal with you. They really will, and you will attract clients. Number 9 is encourage and accept criticism graciously. Admit your mistakes. And I have to tell you, that was a hard one for me, beginning business. I'm a perfectionist. I hated to make mistakes. But we all make them, and it's inevitable. We will. And so the more that we really admit and show our vulnerabilities sometimes, the more empathy somebody else can have with you. But also the clients are very easy to say, I understand, or that they get it. They don't want to necessarily see it again. But if you don't admit your mistakes, they're not going to want to do business with you, because they want to know that you're able to see the mistakes and correct them. So otherwise, they're just not going to want to deal with you else who will admit it. And make sure that when you do get criticism, there's a fine line here too, because I'm one that can take a lot. But I actually had somebody who was almost emotionally abusive in a lot of ways and criticizing. And so, there's a fine line there. It doesn't mean take criticism all the time. You stand up for yourself. But at the same time, like we were talking earlier, sift through things as they come along. If a client has criticism, take it graciously, and then go back and don't stew in it, but just actually say, okay, what can I learn from this? What should I change, if anything? Now, sometimes it's all about them and some of the things they're doing, and where they are in life. It has nothing to do with you. But sometimes there are things that you really need to change as well. So, and be encouraging to your clients. Sometimes they need a cheerleader. Sometimes you're the only one on their side as their assistant. So be their cheerleader. Encourage them that they will get through these things and that you're going to help them. You'll be by their side and you'll do what you can to help them through that. Maintain a strong work ethic. Now, this goes along with some of the things we were talking about with integrity. If you're not maintaining that, your team's not going to. If they see you're slacking off and not there all the time and things like that, your team's not going to want to work with you if they don't see you working hard. And also then the clients, if they can't reach you or get you, they're not going to want it. They'll find somebody who can be there and who they can reach. So number 11, rebound quickly from setbacks. Goes along a little bit with, they all kind of build on one another. So again, just, as I said, don't sit and stew in it, but actually learn from it. If you have to, write out a piece of paper and say, okay, I can learn this or that from this. And then what can I take moving forward? And these things I don't need. And so otherwise you're going to sit there. It's going to eat away at your attitude and everything else. And the next thing you know, you've got the negative attitude. So, be sure to maintain that attitude as much as possible. Call a friend if you have to. Just let the steam off even, so that you can rebound quickly. And then number 12, finally, periodically get out of your comfort zone to pursue something important. So all VAs, at least I know, and even many entrepreneurs I know, are always adding things, skills, adding opportunities, trying to make their business better. And so, it isn't always easy to get out there and try something new, but at least try to do that every so often, a few times a year at least. Also, technology is always changing, so we have to change with that technology. And, sometimes we have to change our mission statement or our taglines. I know I've done that a couple times, in my business, change the tagline because of different things. And so, we definitely want to be growing always, and we can't grow if we sit in our comfort zone all the time. So make sure that you step out of that comfort zone, and for your company and for your own growth, sometimes you have to step out and be in, a different place to bring on new skills and new opportunities for your clients as well. So that's about attitude. And one of the ladies is going to take it from here with one of our other aspects of positioning yourself for new business.
I think that'll be me. And that was great, Tammy. And I'll have to replay this and take notes on all that you discussed, because all of those were very relevant and important aspects of being a business owner as far as your attitude goes. That was great. I'm going to be talking about educating our potential clients for our business success. Now, we all know that we have services that small business owners need, support and things, skill sets that they can utilize in their business. And we offer those solutions to free up time for them to grow their business. We all know that. But as multi-VA business owners, we ourselves sometimes struggle with delegating and letting go of certain aspects of our business to someone else. So we know the challenge that our potential clients face. So how do we teach them the benefits of utilizing us and our skill sets? And that would be educating them on the values that we offer, the benefits that we offer. A good way to convince them is to target our advertising on education and educating those potential clients. You may ask why. So as a selling tool, we can use it as a selling tool to demonstrate our expertise and our knowledge. There's a big difference between marketing and educating our potential clients. And a lot of companies believe they're educating their customers and clients because they're elaborating upon the features and advantages and benefits of their products and services. So what's relevant to your potential client, however, isn't what the company values about its own products, but the products and services, what they can do to solve the problem for them. There are a lot of competitors in the field of virtual assistants. So we have to make sure we stand out. And how do we do that? Sometimes that's an individual question we each have to ask ourselves. Because as we know, a lot of us offer different types of support. Some may offer web design where others target accounting. Or I know a lot of VAs work with coaches and speakers. So we've got to stand out to that target market. And a good way of doing that is marketing our expertise, skills, the value, and the ROI, the return on investment that that client wants to see and what we have to offer. And we do that through education. So when you're marketing to potential clients, you're trying to sell them normally on your services. So when you're educating, you're helping them understand the benefit of that solution. Our clients can find information anywhere. We get Googled all the time. Probably more often than not, when a potential client is looking for a VA, they hit Google first. And you know they're going to get pages and pages of listings. So the benefit of educating them versus just marketing what we do can be twofold. We can establish a more knowledgeable customer base while we're developing loyalty. Now, how does that happen? Research has found that there are these reasons for educating potential clients. And number one is it improves sales. Thoroughly educating clients about our services opens up new ways and opportunities. As more and more people come forward to try us out, this in turn increases the sales of our company and our business grows. So educating them about what, not just what we offer as far as a service of administrative or web design or even real estate, but showing them the return on that investment. Because we have those skill sets, we have the time to give to them and dedicate to them and their business and helping them grow. Another reason is quality improvement. So it improves quality if we're educating them. As they learn about what we offer, they become more conscious of what we offer, and then they're going to expect that quality. So we will give them the quality of service that they're looking for through ourselves, educating ourselves, honing our skills, maybe an extra course in a certain skill set and things like that, like Infusionsoft. If you're not familiar with Infusionsoft, and you market that skill set, and that potential client, they expect the quality of service that you are very knowledgeable about in Infusionsoft. So you invest in yourself in order to offer that to them. And then you educate them on what you know about it. It also gives awareness of our services. So it lets people know the unique advantages of the services that we offer. It helps identify our strengths, and it gives us an opportunity to work on our weaknesses and develop products, services more in depth. And like I said, taking courses for ourselves so we can offer that quality. It builds trust and loyalty to educate them. The more the client knows about what we're offering, the more likely they're going to trust us. And the more likely they're going to remain loyal clients. If they find the potential in our services, it will build the trustworthiness of our organization. And it also helps retain those clients. When our clients feel uncomfortable or left out in getting to know the advantages of our services, they're more likely to shift to another VA. But in order to retain our clients, that time-to-time education of our clients is necessary. For instance, how to use OneNote or tips on successful cold calling, things like that. Promoting your brand. Educating clients promotes your brand. If a client gets educated about our services and they analyze the benefits of using our services, as the word spreads more and more, like that word of mouth, referral marketing, more and more clients will start using us. And we've all experienced that if we've been in the business long enough. We have clients that refer other business owners to us because they see the benefit and they've been educated and they know what we're about. Educating our clients on our services lays a strong base and acts as a flexible tool in opening up new gateways for reaching your revenue goals. So it gives food for thought. Are we just out here marketing what we do and not paying attention to educate? I know myself, when I'm networking with potential clients, when I'm networking in general, I get a lot more, what do you do? Or what does that mean? Or what is a VA? Than, oh, yes, I know exactly. Oh, yes, y'all are great people. I do more educating than I do marketing. And then you have people out there that have a preconceived notion. They hear the word assistant, and they think, and they, as far as get my thoughts together, as especially when you have a team, they think you are a temp service or a staffing service. And I have to educate them that that is not the case either. We are professionals. And I give this example. When you're working with a temp service, they work for a little bit. Let's say someone's on maternity leave or something and they come in. And then they leave and they have someone else that's out for a death in the family or a life change or surgery or something like that. They call that temp service back. They're not going to get that same person that they've already trained and brought into the office and then they leave again. They're not going to get that same person. I let them know that we are not a temp service. We are professionals. And when they call and need us again, if they just need a short-term or for a short-term project or something, that they will get that same VA again, that we are a viable part of their business and we want them long-term. So that we can help them grow, because when our clients succeed, we succeed. And then we're going to turn it over to you, Nanette. You're muted.
Thank you. No, that was good, because it's true. We're not temps and we're not staff, but we're partners in their success. And you're right. You know, if the education part is always a part of that, and I've helped customers understand some of the applications that they had. You know, a little bit of teaching of that, and not only is it great in terms of showing them my expertise, but I'm also showing them how to do their job better. So it's you know, educating your customers it's a low cost, free way of advertising your skills and your business. So with that, I was going to touch on marketing positions and positioning. And marketing positioning, when I say that, I don't mean what jobs, how you are going to advertise, or are you going to go on social media, or you're going to do brochures. Those are what's going to come out of your marketing positioning. So marketing positioning, from the business dictionary that I got, is an effort to influence consumer perception of a brand or service relative to the perception of competing brands or services. Its objective is to occupy a clear, unique, and advantageous position in the customer's mind. So when I'm going out looking for a customer, I want them to have a perception of my brand, of my services, that is, and how I service them as opposed to my competitor. So it's your marketing strategy, and the process of your strategy is contingent upon identifying and communicating your brand's uniqueness and what makes you different, and your verifiable value, which you get when you educate your customers, like you were talking about, Lisa. Some opt for the Me Too kind of branding, where you don't really show your differences, but offer the same solutions maybe at a discount pricing. And I don't suggest anybody doing that, because I know that's the easy way of doing it, but you're going to find yourself in trouble by doing that. You'll find yourself working too hard for a lot less, and you don't really want to go down that road. So what you want to do, there's a lot of us virtual assistants out there, but we all come with our own unique experiences and skill sets and niche areas that we really know well. So when it comes to jostling for customers, we really don't have to do that much. What we do need to do is bring all our skill sets and experiences, and that allow us to build our brand based on the structure of our business, our personal business, and niche markets that we choose to target. And when you clearly articulate what you do, how it's relevant to your potential customers, and how you're different from your competitors, it helps your customers make better and faster buying decisions, which is what you want, and it helps you build your business. So the research that I found, there were 4 strategic positions of your marketing positioning, and they are your brand strategy, your service or product positioning strategy, and then the competitive positioning strategy, because you have to have all that, and then the competitive pricing. So those are the 4 strategic, I thought, for businesses like ours that we should be concentrating on. And to break it down into a little more detail of each of these, let's start with the brand positioning strategy. And brand positioning is the process of positioning your brand in the mind of your customer. So you keep asking the questions, who is most likely to hire me? And until you find the right fit, it's how you think of, until you find the right fit, is how they think of you compared to your competitors. So when I'm thinking about my marketing positioning, I'm always saying to myself, okay, who are the kind of people that I want hiring me? What is it about me that compared to the competitors that they could go to that makes me of value to them? And so I took this statement from a best-selling book that I think everybody should read, called Positioning, The Battle for Your Mind, and it's by Al Rice and Jack Trout. And the idea is to identify and attempt to own a marketing niche for a brand, product, or service, using various strategies, including pricing, promotions, product distribution, packaging. This all depends on your kind of company or what you're doing. For us, it's like service packaging. I'm trying to do service packaging for my customers, so the goal is to create a unique impression in the customer's mind, so that the customer associates something specific and desirable with your brand that is distinct from the rest of the marketplace. But just to make it clear, we're talking about a positioning, and we're not talking about a tagline. I have a tagline, helping hand, but that's not really what we're talking about. We're talking about how my potential customers and my existing customers associate what I offer. How does it fit in their mind? Do I bring value? Do I bring expertise? Do I bring education of services? Those are the things that we talk about when we say marketing positioning. This is where you identify your uniqueness and what differentiates you from your competitors. So some of the 6 step processes that I try to use to clarify my positioning in the marketplace is, and I break this down from the 4 segments that I offer on my website, which is admin support, sales and marketing, creative design, and multimedia creation. So those are the 4 areas. But for each, I'm going to have customers specific to those 4. And so I need to do this for all those 4 areas. And those are those 4 steps are: I have to identify my direct competitors. I have to understand my competitors' positioning of their own brand. I have to compare my positioning to the competitors to identify what makes me unique to them. I have to build a distinct and value-based positioning idea, meaning my benefits and my value. My benefits, my feature. This is the benefits of me. This is what I offer. This is what I know. I know, I don't know, like if it's media, Camtasia, video editing software. And so those are the things that I'm putting down as my unique benefits that I offer a customer. Then I write out my brand positioning statement for that particular thing, and then I test it. I go out there and I sell myself on that, and that's where social media comes in. That's where educating your customers come in. That's where you're doing an advertising, and see what kind of response I get. And so then I'm always adjusting it until I find the right fit. But I'm also talking to customers about their needs, because it's one thing to say I have these products and I have these services and I know what I'm doing, and then you go out there and try to sell it and nobody's interested. So you have to also, along with this, look at your targeted customers. Who do I serve? What are their needs? You're getting in the mindset of your customer, because if you don't think about your brand in terms of how your customer sees you, you're just shouting out in the dark. And then when I write out a positioning statement, sorry, I'm looking at, again, who my targeted, as I said, targeted customers are. I'm speaking to them. I'm finding out what their pain points are, how satisfied they are with how satisfied they are or not satisfied they are with the competitors, other people who are also offering these products. I'm constantly researching too. I'm always researching. I'm always looking at, if I'm offering this service, who else is doing it? How are they doing it? What makes them successful? What are their vulnerabilities, and what doesn't make, or what are they missing that I can provide? Those are the things that you have to constantly do if you want to run your business. Because, as Tammy has said, this is a changing market. We have to always educate ourselves on a new technology that's out there. We have to always be upfront, and not only are we changing, but so are the customers, their needs, their wants and desires. So as much as we can train ourselves and stay abreast of new technologies, the more we can service our customers. So points to remember are to identify a specific customer target, who you want to sell to. So it really is building a customer persona, and I can't stress enough how important that is, because again, when I go to the virtual forums and sites, I hear people posing the questions, how do you find customers? But if you're not taking the time to find out who your customers are, who you think your customers are, and testing it out and asking people, you're never going to find those customers. What's the point of asking people? That's like shooting out in the dark. It's your job to find that out. It's your job to find out, this is what I do, this is what I know, who wants that product? Who out there do I find is saying, I need this, I can't do this on my own, or I need somebody's expertise? That's your job to do. And define your market. Are they real estate agents, insurance agencies, coaches, small businesses? Define where that target market is, and then start talking to those potential people. What are their pain points? What is it that keeps them up at night? What is it that maybe this information you bring back and say, well, I can do that. I can do that, and this is how I will do it. And that's then you start educating your customer. You start telling them how you could do it. So is a process that you're going through. See the brand through the eyes of your customers. And I know I said that a couple of times, but that's really important. It's so easy for all of us to say, I got a great service or product, and I'm going to go out there and everybody's going to want it. And then you go out there and it's dead. You got crickets, and that's a problem. So make sure you communicate your benefits, your uniqueness, your relevancy, and believability, and that's where Tammy comes in about trust and trust and believability. That's where the attitude comes in, and make sure that it's a great fit between you and your customer. And then product, service, and positioning strategy. Now, once you have your positioning statement, which is really internal, it's not a tagline that people know. The purpose of a marketing positioning statement is so that it gives you your ground, your basis of who you are, what you're about, and what services you offer. That's the starting point. Of knowing, when you know who your business is and you feel strong about it and it's all clear, then the next step is, now what services that I'm going to offer. I'm gonna use what Tammy and Lisa have just spoke about, which is I'm very passionate about what I have to offer. My attitude's happy, bright, cheerful, and gung-ho to help customers. I know I have these skill sets. I've trained myself on Infusion or Camtasia or whatever. I have these services that I can provide and do for a customer that doesn't have the time to learn it and do it. So I'm educating the customer about my expertise on these things, and I may do it on a blog, or I may do it on an article I write. And then the next step is what service packages am I going to put together and offer? How is that position? How am I going to brand? How am I going to sell and present my services to my customers? So now we get into the product and service positioning strategy. And for VAs, our products or services we offer, how do we position that? So we have to define what our product or service positioning is. And from the internet, the definition of product positioning or service positioning is an important element of your marketing plan. Product positioning is the process marketers use to determine how to best communicate their products' attributes to their targeted customer base. And it's based on customer need, competitive pressures, available communication strategies like social media, website, advertising, marketing brochures, and carefully crafted key messages. So that's how you position your services and products. And there are numerous products and service positioning strategies out there. And so, you have to find what fits for you and for your business. And the selection is really crucial for how your company will market your products and services. So you have to really take the time to really think about that and about the services you have. And don't offer services and products that you really don't know, because now you're going to lose credibility, and then you're in trouble. Everybody wants to offer the moon, but you don't. So really be honest about what you know and what you don't know, and take the time to learn something that you really want to sell. A simple strategy for small businesses like ours is what's called USP, and that is the unique selling proposition. It is a functional position that solves problems and provides customers with benefits. And what better way, what better is that for a virtual assistant? Because that's what we do. And so the USP, as it's called, identifies and communicates the company's most compelling offer and benefits in a way that answers the customer's question, what's in it for me? Because really, that's what it's about. It's not what I have. I don't want to talk at you. I want to show you. I want to help you. I want to solve your problem. That's what's in it for you. And that's what you want to get across to your customer. And the points to remember is your product positioning should not be static. As Tammy says, change is important. Growth is important. Your competitors are changing. Your potential customers are changing. Their business model, what they are looking for, what they're trying to do. So you need to make sure that you're always looking, but don't change too frequently, because then that can confuse your customers. But always be assessing, quarterly or whatever. Always be looking at how things are working. It's a work in progress. So if you think you have everything in place and you're done, all you have to do is go find a customer, you're in trouble, because that's not the way you want to do it. And then the other section is called competitive positioning strategy. You have competitors, and some of them are not really direct. They're not real competitors, but they are selling services just like you, or products that you have. competitive positioning is about defining how you will be different in your offerings and create value for your market, your targeted market. It's about carving out a spot in your competitive landscape and putting your stake in the ground and saying, you know, I'm going to win mind share in this marketplace, and be known for a certain something, whatever that is, you know. So that's what you want to do. And the way you do that, when your market clearly sees how your offering is different from your competitors, it's easier for you to influence the market and win mind share. So really, it's important to take the time to really think about how you're different, how your offerings are different from the next door person that's doing something that's similar to you. What is it that you can bring out to show that, you know, yeah, this person's great in what they offer, but I do just that little bit of difference. And it could be something as simple as the customer care. It could be something as offering occasional discounts. So that's something that you have to determine. But that's what you want to do. I really believe that, you know, you want to troll the internet and look at what other people are doing and the services that you want to provide and get an idea. And I don't mean to troll the copycat, because that's not ethical, you know. But what you want to do is say, where's a hole in what this person's offering that I could fill, you know, and then talk to the customers about customers who are using somebody else, and say, you know, what do you like about them? What do you don't like about them? Because that information is going to help you be better. And it'll allow you to deliver value to your customers. Excuse me, I was going to sneeze. And steps to your competitive positioning are profile your market, who they are, large, small, startup, professionals, and then segment your market, and segment them into different buckets, and then find out what problems they are facing. Talk to your prospects and uncover their true needs. Their true wants and needs, because, you know, when you drill down and really question people, things will come out. You know, at first they'll say, "Oh, everything's great, I'm happy," and kind of use maybe your existing customers, why they came to you, as a way to prompt them to really delve down into more details. Because I know that my husband's pretty good at doing that, and I listen to him sometimes when he does his sales, and people will say right away as soon as he calls, "Oh, everything's fine, it's great, I'm wonderful," and he has a way of saying, "So, you know, oh, that's great to know. So that means that when you do X, Y, and Z, you get the right results." And then all of a sudden it's like, "Well, not quite," and then all of a sudden here it comes, you know, and now you hear there's a weakness somewhere that maybe he could fill. So that's what you want to do. You want to define how you deliver value, your features and your benefits. You want to evaluate areas where like I said, competition is vulnerable, and where there's a hole in the market, and determine whether you can focus on those vulnerable areas and produce a product or a solution. So that's the competitive positioning strategy. And then the last part is your pricing strategy, which is very important. Because now you know you can fill a hole. You know that you've designed your service and product packages for that. You know your customer base, and you're going to sell it to that customer base, but what are you going to sell it for? And now that's where, you know, we all have made the mistake of underpricing ourselves, and then we're working harder, longer hours, which is not why we got into business with this, because we could do that working for, you know, a company. So you have to be really careful and know your value when you're setting your pricing structure. Competitive pricing is setting the price of a product or service based on what the competition is charging. Competitive pricing is used more often by business selling similar products, since service can vary from business to business while the attributes of a product remain similar. I got that from Investopedia online. But one of the things that should be noted is that for most of us VAs and entrepreneurs, we never think too much about our pricing strategy. They might we might take a peek at a similar product from a competitor, adjust our pricing by a couple of dollars, and then here we go. We got the pricing and do a sale. But unfortunately, that formula may not get you the most value because, again, you could be underselling your skill sets, the time it took to do the work. So you don't really want to just tinkle around like that. You really want to put some effort into it. Taking the time to work out your pricing based on many factors like your time, your expertise, the value you're bringing to the table, can mean the perfect price to maximize your profit for your business. And there are many factors to consider when developing your price strategy, both short and long term. So, example, your pricing needs to reflect the value you provide versus your competitors. You have to match what the market will truly pay because you don't want to overprice yourself out of a sale. You want to support, it has to support your brand, and it has to enable you to reach your revenue and market share goals, and maximize your profits. That's what you want. You know, I would get out in this business only because I want to be able to use my skill sets, but I also don't want to work as, you know, I want to be able to be paid what the value I bring to the table. And we all know that a full-time job doesn't always do that. I have control here to do that. And if I'm going to do that, then I have to make sure I do it right. And so this is something that's really important for everyone. Now, I could get down into how to determine your pricing strategy, but we don't have the time and I don't really have the expertise. But I did find a website that does talk about it and gave some really good examples. It really delves down into what it goes over is the pricing structures, where to start, how to start, and the specifics of each and how to apply them. And I like that because it tells it to you based on people like us, entrepreneurs or small business owners. So it really gets into the details, and it's called fizzle.co. And I'll put it up on Google Plus and on our webpage, this website that you all should go to, because I found it really helpful, and I'm going to look over my pricing structure based on what they suggest. I thought it was pretty good. But points to remember about your pricing structure is match your price to your value proposition, understand your cost structure and profitability goals, your time, expertise, etc., overhead, analyze your competitors' pricing, evaluate your competitors on a regular basis to ensure that you're continually competitive, and determine price sensitivity. Okay, your customers, sensitivity to your pricing. Estimate how sensitive your customers are to fluctuations. This will help you determine the right price and volume combination. And more importantly, you can estimate how a price change can impact your revenue. So those are just some tips about marketing positioning, and I hope that helps. And I will give you the links of that site I told you about that really goes into the pricing structure for entrepreneurs and small business owners. So
thanks, Nanette. That was wonderful. Boy, you had a lot of information there for us. We really appreciate it. And I guess if anybody needs it, could they just ask for that information maybe?
Yes.
You have a handout or something for that.
I have a handout. I'll put it up on the website.
Okay, sounds great. Great. We have a website by the way. And Nanette, tell them where they go for our new website.
The website is www.va2va.com. Very simple. And I also attached it to the Google Plus link, so it's up there.
Wonderful. So we're excited because we have a new webpage, so please go visit our page. And there might be some freebies. I know that we offered last time some free business planning tools. So, feel free to ask us about that again as well. We'd love to help you guys out. So we're down to 1 minute. We can't really summarize everything in the 1 minute. We had a lot of information today. Wasn't our usual show of all the interaction that we do, but instead we gave you a lot of information, which I think that you will find very, very useful in your business. And always, as always, we want you to come to us and ask questions anytime you have any questions. Please feel free to do that. Now, Mark says, how do you set pricing when the majority of your prospects, we're all having trouble with speaking today, expect lower prices? they are trying to lowball you, what is the best approach? Anybody have a opinion for him or an option?
The best approach is stick to your guns. I mean, if
Mm-hmm.
you know, of course, reevaluate and make sure that you know that you are not pricing yourself out of the market. But basically, this is a good indication of what customers you don't want. And then you may have a lot of them who don't, who try to lowball you. But then those are not the customers you want. Because really, do you want to work that hard for so less and the aggravation that goes with it? So determine. This goes back to determining who your target market is, and making
Mm-hmm.
sure that you know who the right customers you should be pinpointing. You know, if everybody's coming to you saying, "Oh, give me a cheap price," you don't want them.
I agree, Nanette. I wholeheartedly agree because I did that early in business. I was really, really low and learned that if I brought my prices up to what it should be, then I really got and attracted the clients that I really wanted to work with, rather than getting people who weren't paying me on time or people that just were very difficult to work with. They wanted a lot for nothing. So I would definitely agree with you there that if sometimes we think we're desperate in it, but don't stick to your gut because you do not want to be just killing yourself for nearly nothing. So, Mark, we hope that helped a little bit. And if not, I know that probably helped you, but also I know that you are one to stick to your gut too. So I know you'll be fine with it. And then I hope this helped everybody else out there. Ladies, you want to say a final word? We're just a minute or two over, but go, please. Please.
No, except I hope this was helpful, and I'll put up the handouts on the webpage and Google at our website, and feel free to go there and take it. And if anybody has any questions for us, there is a contact form, and feel free to fill that out and ask us questions.
That's right. I was just going to say, we visit our website, and we look forward to seeing you again next month.
Absolutely. We have some exciting things coming up and even a small ebook coming up very soon. So look forward to those things, and thank you so much. We really appreciate you watching. It means a lot to us. And always leave comments. We love to read them. So if you're watching it on YouTube later, we really appreciate that as well. So have a great day, everyone. We appreciate you very much and look forward to any questions you may have. Bye-bye.
Bye.